Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve, wherever you are in the world. If you celebrate Christmas, I am sending you so much love and light, hoping that you enjoy a wonderful, wonderful holiday with your loved ones, family, friends. And I wanted to also remind you at this time, we have gone through, are still going through, huge amount of influx of light energy in our systems. A lot of these light codes are being downloaded, and you might experience a numerous amount of ascension symptoms during this time. I know for me, I experienced it on my anniversary on the winter solstice, and my husband also experienced it just before me. So big ascension energies occurring at this time. One thing that was really interesting is when my husband wasn't feeling good, and I didn't know it then, but I was, really exhausted. I actually was laying on the couch and I had a vision of like me in an airplane. So I was like only seeing the outside window of the airplane, diving into this like body of water. It was the ocean. And as soon as I saw that, I told my husband, I was like, I'm seeing a body of water, like, an ocean. And he's like, really? And he looks at me, and right when we looked at each other, the sink dripped water in our kitchen, and out of nowhere, just on its own. And we were like, oh my gosh, like it was so weird. But for me, it was so synchronistic, it confirmed like what I had saw. And, at the time, it didn't really occur to me what it meant. But until later on, when I started having all of these ascension symptoms, congestion, runny nose, all that, throat chakra clearing, it was telling me to drink a lot of water. So I feel like I have to share that message with you all, and it's probably something you hear all the time and maybe you get really annoyed about, or maybe you don't hear it. But drinking water is so essential, all the time, but definitely during these times too, where we are being affected by more light coming in and upgrading our system. We need to be drinking more water so we can continue to, go through these ascensions quickly, but more easily and more smoothly. So the more hydrated you are, the less you're going to experience a lot of the symptoms. Of course, again, at the time, I haven't been, at the time wasn't drinking enough water, and I know that, and well aware of that. And that seems to be always something that I am always being reminded of: drink more water, drink more water. So I wanted to share that with you, and also wanted to share just a little, like some experiences that, I've been having and that are just very interesting. The other day I was reading the book, The Second Coming of Christ Within, the Resurrection of Christ by Paramahansa Yogananda. I really love his work, and he is an incredible soul. That book is really amazing, but I was reading it because I hadn't been feeling that great. This was a few days ago, and my husband came in the room to check on me with our youngest, our 9-month-old, and he was just seeing how I was doing, and I all of a sudden had this like awareness of oneness, and I felt like I was seeing, like almost like outside looking in, but this feeling of oneness came over and through me. And these words came through: we are but one heartbeat, we are but one breath. And I'm watching my husband like talking to my daughter, and they're like playing, and it just was like this awe moment. Like I was just in awe of it all, and this like oneness, and we're all connected, and it was really truly amazing. And after that, my husband was about to go downstairs, and I, suggested you should probably give our little one a bath, and then, feed her, then put her to bed, So he went to do that. And as I came out of, like, I was aware that I had that experience, this oneness. He left, and then I saw this flash of white light, and it had blue in the middle, right in the center. It flashed in my closet, and it was just so amazing to me. And it was so quick that I was like, oh my God, like I saw that. And when I went to go look it up, I spilt my tea on my blanket in my bed. So I had to run downstairs, go clean it, come back up, put in the wash, come back upstairs. And I'm like on my phone looking what the meaning of this is. And the meaning that came through was connecting with higher consciousness. And then another meaning was Christ consciousness. I was just really, really amazed. And because of all the synchronicities with that meaning, the meaning of connecting with higher consciousness, the experience I had was of, high consciousness. And me reading the book, I had just put down my book that I was reading, The Second Coming of Christ is, within you. It's amazing. The synchronicities were just out of this world. But I also thought that this was also a message right now at this time is so profound because Christmas is coming up. Christmas is tomorrow for me where I'm located. And it is all about the Christ consciousness and what Christmas truly means. It isn't just about, Christ supposedly being born on Christmas. It's the true meaning of it is the Christ consciousness coming through each of us and expanding our hearts. The Christ consciousness hits through the heart space. And that's where it expands us because the Christ consciousness is located in the heart chakra. That is, Christ is the gatekeeper, the gateway of the heart consciousness. And I don't mean like him literally. I mean his consciousness, Christ consciousness is through the heart. And, that's why it's so important to remember that and to remember that it's not about declaring Christ King and Christ Lord that saves you. It's actually about not believing in him necessarily, but believing in what he did and being that way, living through your heart space. And, in order to get to the Father is through him. It's because your heart has to be open. That's the only way you can connect through to the higher power is through your heart space. Your heart has to be open. So it's like all of these like aha moments came through for me. Very powerful. And I felt like this message is so important at this time, like I said, because of Christmas coming up. And, in the US and around the world, wherever it's celebrated, this is the importance of remembering your Christ consciousness, remembering that you hold that within you. You have to open your heart. Remember to be in your heart space this holiday season. Remember that it isn't about being right. It isn't about having power over somebody. It isn't about showing someone up. It is about being in your heart space and letting people be and act how they choose to be and act. But your reaction is where your power is held. And you don't have to give your power away. You can remain heart-centered and remain in your power by choosing not to react or being more conscious of how you react to others and how you're engaging with others. Because I know holidays can be very, very tough for so many of us. And I have been there myself. It's hard to be around certain individuals, especially many who are so unaware of themselves and unaware of their baggage and all of this stuff. But what matters most is you and your light and your power and how you're choosing to engage, interact, and react. So remember that. Remember your heart. Remember to be in your heart this holiday season and all days of your life. If you can be that self-aware to remember that you're leading with your heart and coming from your heart is a really important place. It will really change your life. And I also wanted to mention that at this time and even going forward into this new earth that we are creating in this new energy that's being created on the planet that we are stepping into, we will experience more of oneness. And this oneness, like I said, and I experienced it again, like I said last night, I've had a couple experiences of this. We will get glimpses of this, and this will be something that many of us will start to experience quite frequently. So just remember that your healing journey and your spiritual journey, this journey you're on, is a process. And I feel like the more that you remember who you are, and you remember that there is a bigger divine orchestrated plan that is at play, I feel like you will lead your life more consciously. You will choose things more consciously. And it isn't about being perfect. It isn't about making your life perfect or look perfect. It's about being as authentic as you can be, being your true authentic self, loving yourself, owning your journey, and allowing whatever to come up, emotionally, not judging yourself, not judging others. And you just become more intentional with your life, with your journey, and, seeking more of God, the divine, and what it means to be on your spiritual journey, and allow yourself to just kind of creatively flow with that divine flow. Allow yourself to go where you are guided with your joy and your passions and things that really light you up inside. And I feel like the more you seek, you shall find. So, whatever you're putting your energy to and whatever you are focusing on, you will gain more of that. So, like for me, I have felt called to read more of my books and actually finish books. I will tell you, one of my struggles is I don't always finish a lot of things that I start when it comes to books, and that's been over the last few years because of children, and I just had a baby, and I will find excuses, but ultimately it comes down to committing myself to making the time, finding the time to read, and put in that time to read the books that I really desire to read, and so I can finish finish these books that I have started. So just remember, this is a journey, and we will all get there. You will get there. No one is getting left behind. There's a lot of fear that gets fed and filtered onto social media. Don't buy into the fear. Really be conscious of where you're putting your attention and where you're placing your energy, because it does matter, and you will see the difference when you experiment and even just start focusing and choosing things that are loving and high vibration, and things that bring you joy. When you start to be conscious of your energy, where you're putting it, and how you're engaging in energy, I'm telling you, it will transform your entire reality. It does matter. It really does matter where you put your energy and your intention to. So be mindful of that. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a wonderful Happy New Year, and I hope that this year has been wonderful for you, and I hope that you are working towards different goal setting for next year. Next year is the year of the snake, and I'm really, really excited for next year because I am a year of the snake born, and I have a feeling that next year is going to be a really tremendous year for me and for those of us that are snake born. But I think it also starts with where we are putting our intention and our focus on, and if we can have discipline and commitment to ourselves, we can have a really amazing year. So I'm claiming it now, and I'm working on things now. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me here. Truly appreciate every single one of you, all of your love, support to my channel, Heal, Lift, Rise. If you love this video, please join our amazing group. Like the video, share the video with like-minded individuals, people that you think need upliftment at this time. I love you guys so very much. Until next time, bye you guys.